Hello, this is Seder 42 Vinyl, Mike. I'm going to do my August pickups for 2018. Yeah, we're going to do metal first, and let's just get right to it, I guess. I'm going to go from newest to oldest, and Haunt was an album I picked up in August of 2018. This album ended up being my number one favorite album 2018. This album is so good. I actually got to see these guys live recently this past spring, and they were fantastic. Haunt is a traditional heavy metal band or trad metal, and they're from Fresno, California. And the guy in the band's name is Trevor Church. And Trevor Church is the son of the bass player who was on the first Montrose album. So he's had music in his life, his whole life basically. And it's a really great album, very melodic, a lot of very good melodic songs on here. Burst into Flames is just a fantastic song. He ended his concert. I actually got to see him twice. I got to see him here in Charlotte and up in Michigan, and just a great album. My number one album of 2018, actually, and got it on colored vinyl. I really like that the colors match the album cover. That's pretty cool. Another... Another Trevor Church band came out the same year. This is Beastmaker, and this came out on the green vinyl. Beastmaker is more of a Sabbath kind of worship band that Trevor is in, and this is really good stuff. Really melodic, but in the Black Sabbath, kind of 70s, early 80s style of doom type, stoner rock, I guess. Really good stuff. Fantastic album. I like this album a lot. I have all their albums, actually. They have a bunch of EPs that came out that are like 4-song EPs that he put on vinyl together, like EP 1 and 2. Side 1 is EP 1, side 2 is EP 2, etc. It goes all the way up to, I think, 8 or 9 or 10 or something. Actually, I think it goes up to 10. So lots and lots of music from Trevor Church, who has like 6 or 7 Haunt albums, and the same for Beastmaker. Just tons and tons of music from the guy. He's great. His record label, Church Recordings, as well. If you follow him on Bandcamp, they put out stuff all the time, things like that. So there's a bunch of different projects that Trevor has done. Real cool dude, and Beastmaker is a really great band. This band, this is an album that came out in 2017. This band called Droid. If you like kind of Voivod type stuff or just progressive thrash in a way, you know, in the Voivod kind of, with the Voivod kind of sound, these guys are pretty good. The one thing I don't like as much on here is the vocals. And the guy is just not that great of a vocalist. He probably could improve if he continued, but I think this is their first album. These guys are all right. The music is really, really good, but the vocals take a little bit getting used to. Droid. This is another... This is another album from this band that I have, Battle Beast. This is like, just like if you like 80s power metal, kind of, you know, in the vein of not even Halloween, but like there's a lot of poppy elements on here, like pop metal elements on here, and a lot of 80s synth on here as well. So it's a really kind of a mix of genres of like power metal, synth, you know, synth metal, pop music, you know, like, because the choruses are really, you know, it's just like 80s hard rock. It's kind of like an evolution of, you know, early 80s or mid 80s bands, you know, hair metal bands that had a lot of keyboards and stuff like that, you know. So it's still good. Female singer on this, she's great. Battle Beast, Bringer of Pain, really good song on here. One of the title tracks, something about King for a Day. Yeah, that's a really good song. It'll give you a really good idea of what this sounds like all the way through. Picked up an Acid Witch record. This is the first Acid Witch record I picked up, which is Stoned. Witch-Satanic Hallucinations is the one that you really want to get if you want to buy an Acid Witch, if you want to just try it out and almost guarantee that you're going to like it. I would get Witch Tannic Hallucinations. This album is good, but just the songs are just not as, the songs are just not as good. The sound is there, there's vocal parts, like samples and stuff on here as well, like Acid Witch likes to do. Very stoner, doomy, Sabbathy, heavy metal from Detroit, which is great. These guys are really good. Stoned is a good album, but if you can get Witch Tannic Hallucinations, that's the album I would recommend to get from these guys. But this is also really good. And this is called Candy Corn Colored Vinyl. These albums, just like, I think this came out, October 31st. It was like the release date for this in 2010. So yeah, these guys have a big time Halloween theme. Dave, the guy who is in the band, who kind of creates this stuff. I forget his name. I'll put it at the bottom of the screen here. It's Dave something. And yeah, really good stuff from them guys. Like I said, Sabbathy, Halloween-y in a way. Definitely play this stuff on Halloween. It's fun. This is kind of a classic record. I really like this album. Man, some people get mixed reviews on it. It has a different, couple different genres in it, but it's mostly just thrash metal album. This is Death Angel Act 3. The first 3 Death Angel albums, I think, are really, really good. This has some funky elements on it, and some even acoustic, just all straight up acoustic songs as well. But the songwriting is just really, really good. These guys were maturing, and I really like the diversity on this album. There's some really just straight ahead thrash tracks, but then there's some, mid-pace tracks. There's some tracks with a lot of bass, funky style bass, kind of like that would remind you of Mordred. Yeah, so kind of stuff like that. Mordred is a great band too. Their one album that they have in the mid 80s, or mid to late 80s, is really good. Death Angel kind of fits in that category with those guys, but really good thrash. I mean, they're definitely moving away from just straight thrash like they were on Ultraviolence, and they kind of matured a little bit on Frolic in the Park too. Like songs were definitely more diverse, I guess. It wasn't just straight up like that early 80s thrash. They kind of had a little bit of different style on them, and then this even takes it further. They've kind of pulled back in their new stuff. They're more straightforward thrash now, which is not bad. It's just that this album was definitely more unique. And there's some really good songs on here. The acoustic songs on here are just really, really, really good. Veil of Deception, I think, is one of them, and Room with a View, I believe. Yeah, both those songs are really, really good. Yeah, good album from Death Angel. That came out in 1990. It's a repress on Music on Vinyl. Speaking of... speaking of Voivod, this is Dimension Hot Roast. This is between this album and Nothing Face, on any given day, they're my favorite. So either of those albums are usually one of my favorite albums from these guys. This is just such a great record. Very melodic, but in a progressive way. Really unique sound, to these guys, especially with the vocals. So just some really, really, really good stuff here. I love Voivod. Dimension Hot Roast is like I said, between this and Nothing Face. Kind of go back and forth being my favorites from these guys. If you get a chance to pick this up, I definitely would. This is one of the classic doom metal album. This is Candlemass, Nightfall. I got this on Amazon at the time. I think I got it for like $20 or something. Yeah, this is just a classic just to have. This is the one that has Bewitched on it, which is a really, really good song. Messiah Marconi, I believe is his name. I believe that's how I pronounce. Fantastic vocals on here, very soaring, operatic vocals. Great, great, great doom, metal from 1987, and it's just a fantastic, fantastic record. Now we're going to get into some older stuff. You know, this is 1985. This is Y&T. This is Open Fire. This album's interesting. It's mostly live stuff, but there's also, you know, a Summertime Girls studio version on here. It says some really good songs on it, though. I think I got this for $1 at a flea market, so I just found it. I was like, oh, dude, a Y&T record. I'm definitely going to buy it. It's in great shape. I played it. It's perfect. And yeah, I mean, this isn't like a necessary album, I guess, if you're a Y&T fan, but still good. You know, it's good to have a little mix of songs, and live they sound fantastic. They just sound really, really good. Y&T, Open Fire. These next two albums are fantastic. You can find these albums usually for anywhere from 10 to 15 bucks. They're really cheap and they're just really, really great. And that's Riot, Restless Breed. This is 1982. Great. Might be their first major label album. I'm not sure. They kind of, in the credits, the way they talk about it, it seems like it is. The album cover is kind of ridiculous, but fantastic album. Really, really good stuff. Really like this. Now, the one that I would actually buy over that one, though, is if you're going to buy one of these, definitely get Fire Down Under, because this one is great. The album cover is fucking crazy and really just ridiculous. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but this is their mascot. This is their Eddie. So, you know, they kind of have tongue-in-cheek lyrics. You know, I think they were just like a fun band, but, you know, they really didn't take themselves too seriously. But these songs are just really, really, really good on here, especially Swords and Tequila. Fantastic opener. One of the best opening tracks to an album kind of ever. And this is just fantastic stuff. And then the last one, this album's gone way up in price too, the original copies of this. And it's my favorite Kiss album, probably. It's Kiss Creatures of the Night. Yeah, as far as I know, Ace didn't play a lick of guitar on this, even though he's on the front cover. There's actually people who photoshopped Vinny in here, you know, because they know that he played pretty much all the guitar on here. But this is an excellent album. You know, the songs that I probably like least are the Gene Simmons songs, but that's pretty much for me across the board. For Kiss, I really definitely like the Paul Stanley songs more, or the songs that they collaborated on a little bit more. But yeah, just some of the straight up Gene Simmons songs, they're good. And it's just, I don't like them as much, but that's just a small opinion and a small, you know, I guess criticism of the album is that Gene's songs aren't as good as Paul's, but you know, that overall, all the songs are great on this album. Yeah, excellent Kiss album. All right, that's the video for Metal, and that's it. Thanks. Bye.